Hey guys, Coach Donnie here at the Morrow Group eXp Realty, Memphis, Tennessee, and today we're going to talk about how I sold 35 houses my first full-time year in real estate. So stay tuned and let's chat real estate. Here's the deal. You can start this career off, and a lot of times people kind of start in dual career. People are trying to say, hey, I've got to have my job because I've got to pay my bills, but at the same time, real estate is my dream. How do I get going? How do I be successful? It's going to take me years to do this. And let me tell you, I feel the pain because I started off dual career as well. So I certainly, my first year, about a year and a half actually, but my first full calendar year, I was working full-time at a job, sometimes working overtime there. I had a family, I had a wife and 2 kids at home, and just had to make it happen. So number one, I'm gonna tell you to embrace it. Embrace the option to just be super busy, and embrace the fact that for the next 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, you're gonna have to put your head down and possibly work like you've never worked before, but the benefit is so worth it. The alternative is you muddle through it and you end up like the 80% of the agents that don't renew their license after the first 2 years, and that's not where I want you to be because you didn't meet your goal in real estate. Don't do that. I'm telling you, the options are go all in and quit that other job and just make it happen, boom. Or if you're gonna do dual career, go all in and accept the fact that you're probably working 2 full-time jobs, but it's only for a short period of time. And the harder you work your dream, the less time you have to continue working for somebody else's dream. So get out there and make it happen. So where do you start, man, that first year? Number one, and these aren't in any particular order, just a few of the things that I came up with, but first of all, start your sphere of influence. The day you get your license, you need to be reaching out to people, letting them know that you're in real estate, letting them know that you would do an amazing job to help them and the people that they know, whether they are buying or selling a home, and making sure that they know how to send you referrals. You need to be letting people know that. You can't be a secret agent, and you can't just reach out and touch base with them one time and assume that they're going to remember you 6 months later. It is an ongoing process that you have to be building relationships with those. Secondary to that, other lead gen. You have to be getting up every day and doing lead gen of some type. If you have another job, you've got to make that work with your schedule. So if you don't have a job, by all means, you need to get on the calendar, on the phone in the morning or whatever you're going to do. It should be on your calendar that the first 3 or 4 hours of the day, you lead gen, period. Do lead gen, whatever your lead gen looks like for you. You've got to do it multiple days a week, just like any other business owner. Business owners go out of business because they're not producing clients. And in your case, that's people who want to buy and sell homes. So you've got to do that lead gen, lead follow up on a very regular basis, more than most of you know. If you've got a job, a second career, then you definitely have to do that lead gen around that schedule a lot of times. That may mean that you get home at 4:30 in the afternoon and you lock yourself in the office, threaten the kids within an inch of their life if they open that door one more time, and make it happen. You may have to be the adult and tell the kids that they got to deal with it, or you may have to ask your spouse to help you, tell them they got to deal with it, whatever the case is. But if you want it bad enough, you'll be able to make it happen. But you've got to want it enough to make the sacrifices, because there will be sacrifices to be successful in the business. Another thing that many people don't think of is take amazing care of your client. This is something that we tend to really struggle with because out there in society we struggle with this. Generally, if you go around the restaurants, stores, that kind of stuff, most of us are not getting amazing service. They don't really act excited for us to spend our money with them. Well, you need to make your clients feel differently. You need those clients to feel like they have the best real estate agent in the world, that you are taking amazing care of them, and they need to be excited to refer you to their friends. So take great care of them. Answer the phone, call them back in a timely manner, look out for their best interests, because that's going to lead you to more business down the road. So definitely don't forget about that. Don't get caught up in shiny object syndrome that first year. This is one of those things that gets so many people. They get one idea, they get started, and they're like, ooh, shiny object might make my life a little bit easier, squirrel. And then they're off over here looking at something else. That's not what you want. You want to get a system that's going to work, whether it's your sphere of influence, whether it's Zillow leads, Google leads, whatever it is, and you want to focus on it consistently for a few months so that you can start building it up. If you do something for a month and then you switch gears, you do something else for a month, and then you switch gears, all of them are going to fail, and you're going to call them all bad lead sources. They weren't bad lead sources. You were a bad realtor. You were bad at taking care of those sources that you had. Keep that in mind. Also, you need some systems in place. As you start getting leads coming in or calling your sphere of influence, whatever it is, you need to have a system to build relationships. You need to know how you're going to follow up with people, how you're going to stay in touch with them, not forget about them, and how to automate some of these things so that you're not having to do it all. So many agents are dropping the ball and they don't even realize how many people they're losing simply because they don't have some systems in place. Before we get on to my last item here on today's video, I'd love to hear what you all think is super important for somebody that first year, if they want to sell a bunch of houses, 20 or 30 houses, how do they make sure that they're on the right track? Throw it down in the comments, some of the things that you think are super important. Last thing I got is be smart about your schedule. This is a big one. Whether it's your first year or not, so many realtors are struggling with their schedule. You need to think of this like a job. Think about it this way. If you were scheduled to go to the hospital to work from 9 to 5 every day and you didn't show up till 10 o'clock, you wouldn't have a job very long. Well, we get into real estate and we don't have that boss. We don't have a clock to punch. And we think that we can show up from 10:30 to 5 every day and wonder why come we're not highly successful. You need to be setting your schedule and you need to be sticking to it. There's a reason you put it on the calendar, unless you don't use a calendar at all, which is a whole other topic. But there's a reason you put it on the calendar, and it's because it was important to you at that time. So make sure you're maintaining that calendar. Make sure you're staying on top of your schedule and you have that lead gen time in there. You have that client appreciation time, time to take care of your clients, time to take care of their needs and what they need, and to communicate with them at a high level. There are so many other things, but if you do these things, they will get you off to a great start. And this is kind of the basis of the kind of things that I did to be able to sell 35 houses my first full-time year in real estate, and I know you can do it as well. As always, do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the content. Do us a favor, like the video so that other people get to see it. And if you need any help, reach out to us. We'd love helping our real estate agents.